everyone, welcome to Ask Giri the Physio Show, Season 5, Episode 4. Today's topic is the concept of pain, physio and you. So in this episode, we're going to focus kind of on the neurophysiology and also on emotions. We're going to journey through those aspects, okay? Concept of pain. What do you mean by concept? The brain organizes all our experiences by concepts. For example, baby have to learn how to use their eyes. They have to start developing concepts like the lines, the corners, the angles, the shapes. Before even they kind of identify an object, they develop the concept first. And human beings, we do the same thing. And what is your concept of pain? That depends on what is your past experience, how your past experience with brain is being organized by your brain as a concept. For example, the experience of my back pain. What is your concept of your back pain? That depends on how bad it was and how debilitating it was, how painful it was, and what you couldn't do because of that, what you lost because of that, and what your experience with the treatment approaches with your healthcare practitioners and how you got better. That would be a concept of back pain in your mind right now. And also the experience of concept for you as what is my spine? What is your concept of your spine? Do you think your spine is such a fragile structure? There is discs there. If I bend and lift something, the disc is going to be affected or protruded. Or I have sensitive nerves and then I will pinch the nerve when I do this or that. And so many things about spine as it is a fragile structure. So these are the things we're talking about, your concept of pain and your concept of your self-image. That's important. How do you think about yourself? What is your concept? How's your past experiences with yourself? You think you're a fit and fine person? You think you're a mess? You think your right side is always a problem? You always call yourself a bad side and the left side instead of right and left? How you identify yourself as your self-image? What is your concept of self-image in your own brain? That's the you. Then comes the physio part here. What is your concept of physiotherapy? Again, that based on your past experiences with physiotherapy. Have you been to a good physio where you got great admin team, reception, they treated you very well with so much personal touch? Then you had a wonderful physiotherapist who did a very good examination on you with a holistic approach and then gave you a good treatment plan, identified your problem, gave you a good home exercise program, and you had a fantastic experience in the physio clinic. That would be your concept of physio. It could be the other way too, where you didn't have a good experience in a physio clinic, then your concept of physiotherapy will be different in your brain. Right? And these all play into one thing when you have an injury and when you plan to recover. The concept of your pain, the concept of your physiotherapy, the concept of you based on your past experiences. That will form a framework how your current injury or the injury you're going to have it next week or next month, how it's going to play out. There are some surprising things that are concepts. Number one, pain. Pain is a concept. You might ask me, what do you say pain is a concept? Do you think it's in my mind, it's not real? No, pain is absolutely real. But also understand it's a concept developed from your brain based on his brain's predictions and past experiences. We're going to talk about that, the flow of experience a little bit later here. And what the types of pains, right? It can be your nociceptive pain. It's very inflammatory, acute pain, right? Or it can be neuropathic pain. Pain is coming from the pinched nerve or shooting down into the legs or arms, right? Or it can be nociplastic pain, which is a central sensitization pain. Pain comes from your brain because of that increased sensitivity of neurons from the brain. So, types of pain and management of pain is a separate topic. I'm going to do an episode on that later. Let's not dwell into that too much. Right now, let's admire the intricacy of the brain functions and travel into this emotions and moods and concepts. We are talking about some surprising things that are concepts. Number one, we talked about pain. Pain is also a concept. Number two is anxiety and depression. Yes, you might be surprised. It is also a concept that can be altered based on your past experiences, your brain's predictions, and your sensory input and how you're handling it, and what kind of concept you have developed in your mind based on that. Is it the place which is making you anxious? Is it a person? Or is it a smell? Or is it the temperature? Or is it the situation you are in? Or is it the environment? And you have concepts for all these things in your brain. And emotions in general are concepts, okay? You have learned association to link to. And also you have culturally determined concepts, depends on your culture, your background, your upbringing. And again, the last but not the least, yourself. The self itself is a concept, right? What you think about yourself is a concept. Concepts can be self-reinforcing. Now, we're going to talk about the flow of experience here. This can be applicable to everything. It can be applicable to pain, the physiotherapy, and also you. Okay, how is the flow of experience here is? So you ask yourself, what am I experiencing? Is it a back pain? Let's take back pain as an example, okay? Very common painful thing. What I'm experiencing? I'm experiencing back pain, okay? What is contributing to that experience? The sensory data, which is coming from everywhere to the brain, coming from your lower back, the nociception, the painful stimulator, the receptors, right? Sending the pain data to the brain. And also how your movement, right? Your proprioception, we call it joint position sense, the information going to the brain. And how you feel, warm or cold, that goes to your brain. And what you see, what you hear, how is your balance, everything, all the sensory data is going to the brain. Brain collects those information. And then at the same time, what is your brain's predictions? Our brain is a very much predictable organ, okay? We call it a predicting brain. Those brain predictions is based on your memory. How was the last time when you had back pain? How bad it was? And how you got treated? How you got better? What concepts you developed from your old episode of back pain? Or you never had a back pain, this is the first time, right? And then what is your prediction here? Here you could have heard from others what they told about back pain to you. So already brain has some predictions here. What you are experiencing is depending on the sensory data coming from your body and the brain predictions. Those two combined give you an experience of back pain. And then you have to decide what you're going to do with that, right? How you're going to handle that. And that experience will be stored into a memory. And that memory feeds back into your brain predictions for the next episode of back pain. How it was yesterday can play how it is tomorrow. At the same time, the experience also gets you take an action and movement. And this is where a good physiotherapist come in. How he is converting your experience of back pain into action and movement. Instead of giving you a lot of fear and a lot of unpredictability, there is no clarity and direction, then your experience becomes a bad memory, and your bad memory becomes bad prediction for the brain. That's going to influence your experience, and making the experience bad, that means bad experience of your back pain. I want you guys to understand this flow of experience and how it affects in everything you do, every emotion, every mood, every painful episode, everything you have to do. This is the flow. And you have the control to change this flow by changing the concept you have about pain and yourself. And also remember, pain and expectations are self-reinforcing. That's a very important concept. I remind you again on that. Pain and expectations are self-reinforcing, okay? There's a lot of evidence that pain is influenced by expectations. You go to a physio, your past physio experience was very painful. Then you expect to have pain when you see a physiotherapist again. That's important. Expectations shapes pain. Always remember that, right? If you don't have any expectations that it is better for you. For example, if I'm giving you a hot pack, if I'm telling you it's going to be very hot, sometimes it can give you a burn or discomfort. If I emphasize too much on the risks and the harmful effects, that may alter your pain when you're on the hot pack, how you're feeling that hot pack on you. That's why I'm saying always remember your pain depends on your expectation as well. Expectation can affect the pain and change the pain. And this experience is very important. Depending on what you experience, your brain prepares you in different ways to move. Repeat, depends on what you experience, your brain prepares you for the different ways to move. This is a very important thing. It's very crucial because brain has to prepare you to move. It's all depends on what's your experience. That experience depends on your brain predictions. See how it's all connected? What brain needs? What's the brain's crucial role? Right? Very crucial role of the brain is for you to allocate the resources. How much resources your brain is going to allocate for action and movement? That depends on what kind of concepts went into the brain. Is it generalized concept or it is a granular concept? That's a very important next thing we're going to talk about. Why it is important not to have too much generalized concept, but to have very good granular concept, the smaller, very detailed concepts. It's important for the brain. If you have only general concepts, the brain sometimes can over-prepare you for the thing it's going to face. But if you have a granular concept, the concept which is very specific and small and very easily actionable item, then your brain will be not over-preparing you, it prepare you for the specific task. So that will change your mood. And mood is everything. This is an example for being fearful of movement. Example for hunger, right? You feel something in your tummy, then you identify that as a hunger and you go and eat something. Not everything you feel in your tummy is not hunger. So that's your granular concept. When you know that everything what I feel in my tummy is not hunger, it's a granular concept. What's the general concept? Everything in your tummy is hunger. So I got to go eat something. That's your general concept. So you know identify the difference between general concept and granular concept. This is very important for you to understand. And also when we move, when you do exercises, that's why we always tell patients, don't blast the music in your ears, the headphone when you do exercises. Be aware of how your body moves. Feel it, be aware of it, and enjoy the movement. That forms granular concepts in your brain, which helps you to move later, instead of you're not focusing on the movement at all. Sometimes when we see people with a lot of anxiety and depression and fear of movement and kinesiophobia, we sometimes work on this, changing their general concept to granular concepts. That is almost equal to working with parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system to calm down the body. Your sympathetic system is your overdrive, right? It's your fear and flight, fight and flight mode. And your parasympathetic is calm, collected, composed mode. And a lot of people we work with activating the parasympathetic system by vagus nerve work, and we have a lot of other strategies to work on that. Along with that, we also adapt this, how I can give you granular concepts about you, about your past experience, about the action and movement, so it can help you to achieve the goal and recovery. That's the importance of granular concepts. So more granular concepts make more efficient allocation of resources. The brain can allocate the resources more efficiently if you develop more granular concepts than general concepts. That's a very important thing. And that determines your mood. And the mood is everything. So yeah, simpler ways, the more granular concepts you have, the better. Granular concepts about the self-image, about you, right? Both in terms of the body mapping and also where you can move and also your emotional experiences. The more granular it is better. So coming back to this, for what you need to take away from this presentation is have a good concept of pain. Okay, understand the pain neuroscience education. When you move, when you hurt, it's not all about tissue damage. Sometimes it is better if you move, right? With the guidance of the healthcare practitioners. Have a very good concept of pain and how pain is not just the part which is injured, it's much more than that. Okay, it's a behavior, it's an emotion, it's a concept. But it's real, don't forget that. And that's why you need a good pain neuroscience education. Because sometimes what happens, people's feedbacks and the way they talk to you, the bone on bone and this and that and everything creates so much fear and anxiousness in you, then recovery is very, very, very difficult. If you're kind of bombarded with these fearful languages and vocabulary from different groups of people. Next comes with physiotherapy experience. How was your experience, your past experience? If you have past bad experience, try to go somewhere else and get a good experience. And don't think all physios are same or all experience are the same, right? That can change the way you will recover from your injury or illness. Again, then concept of you, your self-image, what you think about yourself, what you talk, your self-talk. Is it positive or negative? Are you telling yourself you're a mess? Are you telling yourself you never get better? Are you telling yourself this is it? All these things you need to talk about. I want you to understand that. And then always remember this flow of experience. It works in all contexts, not only just the injury and recovery. What are you experiencing? It's based on what sensory data is going from your body to your brain. At the same time, brain is comparing to the predictions for the past memory, past experience. It's an internal loop there. And based on these two, you're going to have an experience, whether it's a positive or negative experience. If it's a positive experience, it's going to be stored as a positive memory and it's going to produce a positive action and movement and recovery and progressive loading and exercises, and you go reach your activity goal or physical goal you need. If it's a negative experience, it's going to be stored as a negative memory, stored as a negative prediction, it's going to have a negative experience and it will not lead to the action and movement. Very simple. Hope you understand this flow of experience in your life. You can relate this to any injury or pain you have in your body, or even anxiety and depressions and everything you have. If you need more information about it, reach out to me, Giri Srinivasan, registered physiotherapist and your host of the Ask Giri, the Physio Show. And if you need to shoot me an email, please do so. I work at Insta Physical Therapy. You can shoot me an email to instaphysicaltherapy@yahoo.ca if you want to. If you have any clarity you need, reach out to me. So I hope you got something out of this presentation today and understand this and have this loop and just try to put this in your personal experience. Anything you deal with, put yourself to this, how it is. And you can ask yourself, how I can break this cycle, how I can have a positive experience, how I can build positive memories when I have an injury, car accident or workplace injury or arthritis pain or broke something from the fall. How I can change the concept of pain I have. How I can change my experience with the healthcare practitioners, including physiotherapy. How I can change my concept about myself and my recovery and achieving my goal. Interesting, isn't it? That's the beautiful, beautiful journey through the neurophysiology and emotions. It's a great symphony. I hope you understand and get better and achieve your goal in your life. Thank you for listening. If you like, please share and subscribe. Our YouTube channel is Ask Giri the Physio Show and our website is physioshow.ca. All our past episodes are archived in there. Please refer to that, then we'll go from there. Bye until the next episode.